Hey guys, today this is my 1,000 subscriber special. And actually I'm not at 100. I'm not at 1,000 subs. I'm currently at 990, I believe, if I double check. Yeah, it should be around there. Yeah, 990. So this video should come out when I get 1,000 subs, and it's the video that you guys voted on my community poll, and it's the versus battle you want to see. Vengeance Godzilla versus Godzilla the Imposter Godzilla. Part 2. Silver versus Kaiser. Now, this video is going to be a little shorter. Yeah, I get it. You want a longer one, but this one will be shorter. Because there's just newer information to cover, but it's not like crazy. Like, it's not going to be a longer fight. So, we know how it goes. Base form GXI Godzilla solos Vengeance Godzilla all the way up until he gets to Burning Blue Archetype. Burning Vengeance Godzilla is when things get more complicated. Because base versus Vengeance, Burning Godzilla is base form would win for GXI, insane difficulty. Blue Archetype would beat base GXI. Now Red Spiral Ray beats Blue Archetype. We already went over that in a past video, and we've already seen that. And in Central versus Animation OC Battle Royale, we see Vengeance Godzilla in his silver form fight GXI Godzilla in his red spiral form. GXI Godzilla is losing throughout the fight more, and winning. Vengeance Godzilla has the advantage. But Central Verse even said that the only way he sees Vengeance winning is if he goes into his final form, spams hacks, while GXI is in base. And GXI goes into his red spiral ray form, they're even. That's what we're going to say. And that's also something you have to remember. He says even. That's a massive thing that makes this video even more important, knowing how strong they are. And also, Central Verse said that though Vengeance Godzilla has reached all his forms, he still is not at his peak yet. But what we can use is what we can use from the video. In the video, he is shown to be slightly more powerful than Red Spiral Ray, or at least even, to the point where it's hard to tell who wins this fight, as currently they can't kill each other. But this all changes with Kaiser Godzilla, the most powerful version of GXI Godzilla to date, until obviously the finale comes out, which will make it more powerful, and then more parts. And I just want to say something so people can understand this. This will have lore drops in the video. GXI Godzilla is not the most powerful character in the series. He's only number 4 right now. And when I've been talking about the Omniversal God, we've only seen his physical form, not his final form. The final form scales above GXI Godzilla right now. That's all I'm going to say. And since we've only seen his physical form, we don't know how powerful the final form is compared to Kaiser. But what we do know is there's 2 characters who are stronger than the Omniversal God's final form, or as you would call it, true form, which lives in the void. Not the physical form, the true form. And these 2 characters will come in Godzilla the Imposter Season 2, and one of them is a character that is a massive threat. Like, big threat. And he was already foreshadowed in the first episode of Godzilla X Imposter. You don't know what the first episode is? Well, you can figure that one out. I'm not telling you more. But, yes. GXI Godzilla was also when he's fighting the Omniversal God in his red spiral ray form, and in his new base form, which I'll go over right now. His new base form is able to one-shot the Omniversal God's physical form. Which, remember, the Omniversal God before was able to take multiple shots of GXI Godzilla's atomic breath and tank the supercharged atomic breath. Yes, he took insane amount of damage, as obviously you can see, but he still was able to survive. Now, his new supercharged form, because it's now his new base form, is able to one-shot a Omniversal God who just teleports in a physical form of him, which is the same durability feats as the other one, Zing Omniversal God. And since we know from the new statements that I've made, his new base form, aka Supercharge, has a 500,000 times higher carrying capacity and nearly infinite times stronger than his old base form. And also that can apply to when he used Supercharged again. The Supercharged form has also gotten stronger. And using that would have to mean that his supercharged form has at least gotten 5 to 6 times, maybe 10 times stronger than he than before. Because he wasn't able to one-shot the Omniversal God before in the Supercharged. That was the Red Spiral form. And going with that, it should just be that his Supercharged form currently, right now, should be enough to at least do something to Blue Archetype at this point. Or just be able to handle the, what you call, one second, I'm forgetting, Silver form of Vengeance. But I still see Vengeance winning, even if he's in his Supercharged base form, which we've seen in part 9. It's just the hacks and the passively weakening people. So Silver has the power to weaken characters, and as Central first said, he can just nerf characters. Now, this is actually what happens. GXI Godzilla fights the Omniversal God. He's about to fire his normal Atomic Breath, but then he turns it into the Red Spiral Ray. The Red Spiral Heat Ray was able to do nothing. It hit the Omniversal God straight in the chest, which is normally his weakness. But the Omniversal God reacted and deflected it, and used his other five or four other versions of himself to fire the beam back at him. It didn't hurt Godzilla, it just stopped him from beaming. He gets hit with his beam 5 times, and plus the Omniversal God having the multipliers that makes his beam even stronger, and also having the ability to nerf his durability. I mean that he's taking his own beam, which is already insanely powerful, and he's also getting his durability nerfed and taking it without his force field. So that's a massive durability feat. Now, when he goes into his Kaiser form, he's able to, with one beam, blow off a massive chunk of the Omniversal God and throw him, and then beam him into the air, absolutely incinerating all 5 of them. I just want to say right here, that's it. And how can I say his power? Well, we saw before the Omniversal God was firing something at GXI Godzilla that lifted him up into the air and caused him to roar, not in pain, but in shock. GXI Godzilla right here was getting his power drained and nerfed. The Omniversal God was nerfing his power and trying to absorb all of it. The Omniversal God in this physical form had GXI Godzilla's power, was able to take some of it. And with that, you can tell that he is trying to passively nerf him to the ground. But it didn't work. It made him stronger. So, how will Silver react to this? Silver's main advantage in this fight will basically be reality warping. Kind of like what happened when GXI fought the Omniversal God in its physical forms. He was able to portal GXI Godzilla's Atomic Breath back at it and probably send some multipliers to make the beam even stronger. And it was in the Red Spiral Ray form. He's able to passively nerf him his Atomic Breath, and his own beam was able to send little sparks around that send the beam at different angles to hit Godzilla. So what Silver form can do is try to outlast GXI Godzilla, which, knowing GXI, might not work. It all depends on how Silver Vengeance Godzilla plays his card. Because GXI Godzilla, if Silver lets him go into Kaiser form, it's kind of over. The Kaiser Godzilla, or just Kaiser GXI, upscales Vengeance versus Silver form. The fight is not going to be as long. I said Kaiser would win mid-difficulty. He is much more powerful than Red Spiral Ray. And here's the thing that makes Kaiser even more powerful. Red Spiral Ray, in his new base form, Supercharged, is not controlled. Though it's a permanent evolution to a permanent base form, his powers aren't as controlled. He has trouble controlling it. You saw when he fought Imposter out of anger and having trouble controlling his base form. With all this new power, it makes him corrupted. Slightly corrupted. And it's very difficult for him to completely control it. That's why his Atomic Breath looks more stable in his Kaiser state and less flashy. And the Kaiser state is a perfected version of the Red Spiral Ray and the Infinite Spiral Heat Ray phases. So what we had is the Infinite Spiral Heat Ray phases 1 through 5, kind of like the parts. But we had, I think it was 1 through 5 or 4. You had the first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one. They all show something. Each of them gets more powerful, but then you can only use it once. But they stack on the base form. It was harder to control them. But when GXI Godzilla would use his Red Spiral Ray, you see how it crackles through his skin and the way it just cracks. Just looks uncontrolled. You can tell. And even in an episode before he first uses the Red Spiral Ray, you see his body is pulsing already with red energy. His eyes are turning red. His chest shows red. You can see it. GXI is evolving, and the power is too much for him to handle at this point. So he's not able to control it completely. But when he uses the Kaiser form, he's able to perfectly control his energy. It's infinitely stronger than the Red Spiral Heat Ray form, or near infinitely stronger. It has way more powerful than that. And it also has the plus side of the Infinite Spiral Heat Ray boost. It can also boost his power infinitely. He can boost all his stats infinitely after using it, if he goes into this form. And for every time he beams using the Kaiser Heat Ray, it gets infinitely stronger. So, Vengeance is going to be having to deal with that. Now, if Vengeance does decide to nerf GXI stats, like we saw what happened to Kaiser Godzilla, he could just nullify this with an Atomic Pulse. I do want to go over the categories now. So, with all of that out of the way, before I actually get there, we're going to, if you know the Vengeance for scaling, his scale is slightly above his Silver form skill is slightly stronger than the Red Spiral Ray, are equal. And you know how the Red Spiral Ray is beyond omniversal. He can easily destroy an omniverse. And Silver just has more hacks, and more times should be able to overpower or at least weaken Red Spiral GXI. Now we can go into categories. Strength. GXI takes it. He has infinite strength. He's able to lift infinite amount of weight. Now, speed. GXI can teleport, and he can also run at speed over 300 miles per hour. He runs the same speed of Monster vs. Godzilla, which is 300 to 600 miles per hour if you take the subsonic calculation that someone said. I believe it was FDA who said this. Yeah, Godzilla was running at least 600 miles per hour. And that is in the official guidebook. You can take that how you want to, but he runs between 300 to 600 miles per hour. That's how fast Monsterverse runs, and that's how fast GXI Godzilla runs. He can also teleport. So speed should be a tie, but knowing that Vengeance can fly, GXI can teleport, I would have to give the slight advantage to GXI Godzilla. So, GXI Godzilla has 2-1 right now. Now we have size, Vengeance Godzilla, weight, Vengeance. Combat, Vengeance Godzilla has better combat than GXI. Abilities is a tie. We have hacks. Vengeance Godzilla in his final form, which is the silver form, and in his blue archetype form, has shown insane amount of hacks. What you see in the video. His silver form has crazy hacks and is able to stop time and basically nerf someone to the ground and spam hacks. Vengeance Godzilla as a whole is a character like a reality warper. It just shows hacks. That is one of his main factors. Being able to mess with his opponents. Now we have skill. GXI Godzilla is a very skilled fighter. Though Vengeance has better hand-to-hand combat and better form, GXI is extremely skilled. He's able to use his tail and other parts of his body as attacking options. So, GXI now gets a point. Now, tying it. Now, with Vengeance Godzilla leading 5-4, we have durability. GXI Godzilla has rarely been shown to bleed, and never bleeds. He has been shown to take his own attack, which Vengeance Godzilla can do too, but his own being that's able to destroy multiverses and outer verses. I didn't mean to say multiverse. I meant to just say outer verses and things above the void with literal ease, and can tank that beam. So, GXI should take hacks, and also, durability. Also, if you've seen the other Godzilla X Imposter scaling videos, and also followed along, you will know just how durable he is. And this isn't counting the fact that he has a force field that will just deflect anything. Now it's tied 5-5. Now we get on to the next one, which is stamina. These two both seem not to get tired, so I'm going to leave that a tie. we have hand-to-hand combat. GXI has shown to be able to throw and do suplexes now, and just do wrestling moves. Well, Vengeance can shown to do punches and actual fighting skills, not just grappling up close. So I'm gonna have to get that to Vengeance Godzilla. Now, Vengeance Godzilla is leading by 1. We have power. GXI takes power quite easily. He has one of his things is getting more powerful the longer he's in a battle. He will continue to evolve and get more stronger. We've seen this in his episodes. Now the next thing is a beam strength. Who has a stronger beam? Vengeance Godzilla has a very powerful beam. But how powerful is it? We haven't seen the Silver beam, but what we have seen is lots of GXI Godzilla beams. But for Silver, we mostly saw his other abilities and hacks, not really his atomic breath. But for GXI Godzilla, we've seen how powerful the beams are. We've seen how his base red spiral ray, once he used it once, or 2 or 3 times, it will destroy the void where the true form of the Omniversal God lives. And just knowing how that is a true massive feat in its own. Just absolutely massive. Just shows just how powerful he is. And also how his beam is basically able to cut through anything. He was shown to one-shot Omniversal God. And a massive feat I forgot to go over was him busting through reality borders. He's walking in atomic breathing and beaming right through dimensional borders with ease as just a task, a mundane task. And again, his Kaiser beam was able to one-shot the Omniversal God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. With a score of 8-7, GXI is leading, and we still have a couple more categories to go. So we get 2 regeneration. Vengeance hasn't shown as much as I remember, but he can definitely regen. He's very powerful. GXI has not really been shown to regen. And it's very surprising from the one who doesn't die and just always comes back. Vengeance has just shown more feats of regenerating, so I'm going to give that to him. Now with a score of 8-8, there's really one more thing that I can settle this with. There's just one last thing. Just overall feats. GXI Godzilla has just shown overall feats. We haven't seen the blue archetype Vengeance Godzilla or Silver Vengeance Godzilla in the series. You've only heard the statements from Centroverse and only seen Silver in the OC Battle Royale. GXI has just shown more feats and has just shown more. And I guess that GXI would have to take that category. And we have one more, the X Factor. Though Vengeance Godzilla has an insane amount of hacks, GXI Godzilla can counter it by not being able to die. As I stated, GXI Godzilla can't die for some reason. Why? I don't know. He just doesn't die. Whatever you do, erase him from the plot, he doesn't die. Blow him up, he doesn't die. Incinerate him, he doesn't die. They've tried. Villains have tried. Trust me. The Omniversal God even tried erasing him from the plot, possibly nerfing him until he can try to do it, and it wasn't even possible. So GXI also takes that. And also, GXI has one more advantage against Vengeance. He has the ability to be able to basically adapt to any situation. His power just gets insane. He can continuously power himself up to get more powerful. And that will overwhelm his opponent eventually. Whenever he runs into a barrier or someone who's more powerful than him, who is constantly beating him, GXI Godzilla will just evolve his power and just multiply it to get more powerful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. With a current score of 9-8, GXI Godzilla wins. This debate, hopefully, it's finally closed until we get more feats from each. Currently, GXI should win this. And this is just by going over the stats. GXI should win anyway. If he gets into his Kaiser stage, he will win. I don't think Silver can beat Kaiser GXI Godzilla. That's what I'm going to say. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, Centroverse. And this has been the 1,000 subscriber special. And I hope you liked it. There are a couple more things I do want to go over before the video ends. And I just want to talk about how this fight would play out. So, kind of just like how Blue Archetype played out with Silver played out with Red Spiral. It started with Vengeance using hacks. And eventually, once GXI gets close, he can deliver beams. And he will find a way to kill Vengeance Godzilla, eventually. But it will not come easy, as Vengeance Godzilla will continuously attack him with hacks and other stuff and beams. And try to make sure he doesn't get close enough just to stop it from happening and try to overwhelm GXI. It's just once GXI either teleports or gets close enough and gets a good beam off, the fight should end. GXI, if he's in a good mood, won't kill Vengeance Godzilla and will spare him. But currently, right now, Kaiser Godzilla beats Vengeance Godzilla in his Silver form. I hope that answered the question on who wins, GXI or Vengeance, and currently it's GXI. I hope you liked the video, and I just hope your day goes well. Peace!